He guides Santa's sleigh safely through the sky on foggy Christmas Eves, but that's not the only thing that makes this reindeer a role model. Here are 5 enlightened things about Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Because of his nose. Enlightened. Anyway. Number 1, he shows us that bullying is harmful. It would be easy to dismiss Rudolph's story as an inconsequential children's holiday tale, but I don't think that's fair. For many of us, Rudolph was the first anti-bullying parable that we ever heard. The original book by Robert May, the song by Johnny Marks, and the classic Rankin-Bass stop-motion TV special all have the same basic message, part of which is picking on people because they're different is wrong. That is a fundamental lesson about how we ought to treat each other, that all children should learn, and that quite a few of us adults could stand to brush up on from time to time as well. Number 2, he shows us that authority should be questioned. This theme appears most explicitly in the Rankin-Bass TV special, where virtually every authority figure in Rudolph's life, his father, his coach, even Santa himself, seeks to marginalize him because of his nose. At the end of the story, when Rudolph has saved Christmas, these people acknowledge that they were wrong about Rudolph and apologize. Recognizing and owning up to your mistakes is an important part of growing up, but so is learning when to respect an authority and when to challenge an authority. And when the people in charge sound a lot like the bullies, that's a clue. Number 3, he shows us the importance of standing up for misfits. This is another lesson that is found predominantly in the Rankin-Bass TV special. After he's ostracized from his own community, Rudolph befriends Hermie, an elf who is mocked by the other elves for loving dentistry more than toy making, and then the two of them also run into Yukon Cornelius, a hapless but enthusiastic prospector. Eventually, the 3 of them find their way to the island of misfit toys, which is where toys that have been unfairly judged to be defective are sent. And this episode is important because it illustrates how vital support networks can be for people who have been alienated from their friends and family. But there's something else in this story that is just as important. When Rudolph returns to the North Pole, he tells Santa about the island of misfit toys and leads Santa's sleigh back there to rescue the misfit toys. So we're shown that feeling solidarity with other people who share your struggle can really help you to make it through when you're down there at the bottom. And we're also told that if you ever are able to climb out, you should turn around and give those who are still down there a hand up. That's what Rudolph would do. Number 4, he shows us that we can survive our painful experiences. Rudolph goes through some traumatic experiences, which many of the kids who watch or hear his story can probably relate to, on an emotional level, if nothing else. The story ends with Rudolph being accepted and celebrated, and sadly, many of the kids in the audience will not be able to relate to that bit. Life is not nearly as generous as Christmas stories in giving out its happy endings. But I still think that that last bit is an important part of the story. We get to see Rudolph overcome the limitations imposed on him by an initially close-minded community. He ends his story at a place of social and self-acceptance. And most importantly, by doing so, number 5, he shows us being different isn't bad. Now, of course, first and foremost, Rudolph's story is just a fun children's Christmas story, and when subjected to the kind of close reading that I'm giving it in this video, it can come across as an idealized and reductive portrayal of some serious, complex issues. But that doesn't mean that it has no value. This is a story about an outcast who comes to recognize that he has something of value to contribute to his community, that he is important, that he is no less worthy of respect than his more typical peers. And we also see those peers and Santa Claus, the guy in charge, coming to realize that Rudolph's difference and their diversity is not something to be embarrassed about or something to be hidden, but something to be embraced, something that is a great source of strength. something that is beautiful. And that's a lesson that bears repeating, now more than ever. The hardest part is picking only 5. Catch you next time, and happy Christmas. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And also, please consider helping me to make more videos like this one by supporting this channel through Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron. Thanks for watching.